What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. My name's Big Cam, and today I watched 2005's War of the Worlds from director Steven Spielberg, starring the one, the only Tommy Cruise. Also a young Dakota Fanning's in there. Also his son, right? So he's a divorced dad in this movie, Tommy Cruise. And he's got his two kids that, you know, his wife left with him, his divorced wife. She's now going to remarry. She's pregnant with another kid with her new husband. You know, so many people probably don't pick up on those details. But in 2005, I was a divorced child, and I was, I wasn't divorced. My parents got divorced, and I was from a divorced family. And, you know, 2005, I would have been 6. So probably seeing this on TV on FX when I was a kid, probably, 6, 7 years old. This was the type of movie where we were like, oh yeah, divorced parents, Tommy Cruise trying to do his best as a divorced dad. And all the kids want to be with mom. Dad's kind of a prick. I understood this quite a bit. But this movie was always one of those ones that I turned on whenever I saw it and was like, yeah, this is epic. And I hadn't seen it in probably 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, it was a long damn time, at least a decade since I had seen this fully, other than just catching it a couple minutes on TV. But it was good enough that my roommate stuck around last night, and he would have left for sure if it sucked. So he ended up looking at me afterwards like, that was a pretty damn good movie. Especially for 2005. We kept looking at it going, 2005, right? This movie's almost 20 years old. In the way that the aliens look, like, and they're not necessarily alien ships, they're more alien walkers, kind of like, Star Wars, but better because they're not, the four-legged slow walker. These things have 3 legs, which I believe is the same design that the ship has, the same design that the aliens themselves have. And I'm a pretty big sci-fi guy, and I like this kind of stuff. So for me, like when they finally show up in the reveal of not only the walker, but the final reveal of like what they look like, phenomenal. But the story itself isn't really there, right? Like it is, but it's not like a pretty all in-depth story, right? Like it's a 2-hour movie. I could wrap this entire thing up for you in like 10 minutes. Ready? Spoilers for a 20-year-old movie. Divorced parents, mom drops off kids to dad. Dad and kids start to have an argument. A crazy lightning storm starts to happen. They realize it's not a storm or lightning storm at all. It was actually aliens going down with the lightning into the ground to get into their machines and come up from the ground. So they buried their machines underground hundreds of years ago, before civilization was ever a thing, and they've been planning, waiting for this moment to come and take over. So these aliens are taking over the planet. It's a war for the world, and they end up having to make their way back to their mother in Boston. Along the way, they encounter these aliens a few times, and bam, they make it back to their mother. End of story. Like, it's really not all that complicated. There's also the guy from Shawshank Redemption stuffed in there. I do want to say that the two kids, right, Dakota Fanning is a young Dakota Fanning. She is kind of annoying in this movie, because, just various random parts of the movie, she's just screaming and getting them caught, and you're like, come on, man, like, nobody told you how to be stealth? Fuck. But his son, Robbie, played by Justin Chatwin, every time I see him in this movie, I think he is the guy from Green Day. I'm sorry, Green Day riff. But that kid is Green Day. If you guys know what I mean, you see him, he's fucking Green Day. But overall, this is a good movie. I will say, what I definitely noticed watching this time around, there's a lack of score and a lack of like real plot story going on, but the visual effects are fucking next level in the way that he got the aliens to look. And this is still a Spielberg movie, so it's still entertaining. But it's under 2 hours, which I feel like isn't necessarily very Spielberg-esque. I feel like when I picture him, I picture movies 2 hours plus, you know what I mean? Maybe even 2 hours and a half plus. But maybe that's just more recent movies for him. He's also done a shit ton of movies, so like, there's definitely other things that he has done that probably are about as long as this, slightly under 2 hours, which, if you guys know me in the channel, I do love a shorter movie. But I've dragged on enough about this movie. I wish there was a little bit more of a score, but the noise, like the horn noise when the alien like stands up and you see it and it goes, it like makes this great noise. That noise is great, but then the rest of the movie, the score is pretty non-existent. So you're kind of like, certain scenes like I think they were trying to, should we get a score here? Or should we lean into the explosions? They probably did a test screening and the explosions part was too explosive. So they were like, yeah, why don't we dial back the explosions, put in a score. But by that point, it was too late to get a good score from like John Williams. So they just settled for a score and it wasn't very good. I don't know. Stuff like, a score goes real important into a movie, if you know what I mean. But overall, I gave this movie 3.5 out of 5 stars, about a 7 out of 10. I really do like this movie, and I liked it when I was a kid. But yeah, the aliens hold up really good, but the story didn't hold up as good to me. I mean, it's a fine story, but it's not like a great story. Like, I'm not walking out of here going, oh my god, that was a great story. I'm walking away from this going, oh my god, the alien visual effects look fucking incredible. So if you're into that kind of thing, go check out this movie. If you've seen this movie, leave your score out of 5 or 10 stars down in the comment section below. If you'd like to follow me on Letterboxd or my other social medias, down in the links in the description below. My name is Big Cam. If you'd like to support the channel, the best way to do that is by liking this video, subscribing if you're new, hitting that bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you guys so much for coming on by, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.